Huh? There. Oh. Huh? Durr.
Hey now, and welcome down to KCToyreviews. We are here today with Garter by Flashpoint, aka Thunder Toys. And of course, if you're not already familiar, this is Spider-Man from the Sam Rami Spider-Man Trilogy, specifically the wrestling scene with Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh yeah, slap it to a Slim Jim. Oh my god, that was the worst impression ever. Sorry about that, but let's keep rolling. Now, this figure is pretty decent, but as always, there are a few flaws because this is a third-party figure. Now, if you're at all curious what those are, let's go ahead, hold each other's hands, and dive right the hell goddamn in. Alright, so here we are with the Garter by Flashpoint. Now, Flashpoint, aka Thunder Toys, has been on a roll with Spider-Man toys. They have a plethora of them coming out. They have a plethora of them already out. And then, of course, in between all the new and old releases, we have this figure here. Yes, I cheaped out. I went with the simple version. There's a deluxe version that comes with an unmasked Peter, but the head sculpt was so bad that it just didn't make too much sense for me to buy that figure, so I wanted this. And why, might you ask? Well, if you're a fan of the old Sam Rami Trilogy, in my opinion, this is a defining moment in Peter's journey. And of course, paired with that, as I did my horrible impression earlier, is a great scene with Macho Man Randy Savage. It brings back some fantastic memories, especially of me and my father watching this movie together. So when it was announced that it was coming out, I was very excited for the release. Now in hand, well, I guess I'm still excited. I still like it, but there are a few drawbacks. Now let's pause for a second and take a look. In hand, it's not that bad. The tailoring's pretty decent on both the shirt and the hoodie. I'm pleased with it, and I like the spider symbol dead center in the middle of it. One of the major disappointments initially was these were the only two styles of the gloved hands they gave with it. Now, what the hell were they thinking? We should have had some fisted versions, some wrestling crunched knuckle versions, but instead they gave you what you see here and then two other gloves off human hands, which is so boring to even show. It just doesn't even make sense. They didn't give us extra options with the wrestling gloves. Very, very disappointed. Now, articulation on this guy is going to be absolutely fantastic. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. I mean, we don't really need to go over that. You can do whatever the hell you want with this without fear of damaging this figure at all. Now, onward to the real star of the show, the head sculpt. Now, in my opinion, if you bought this piece, it doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense to take the mask off. I mean, you really want to represent that wrestling scene, that iconic moment in Peter's life. However, whatever tickles your fancy. So here we go. And I also want to know, I haven't seen this since I pulled it out of the box. As soon as I pulled it out of the box, I put this mask right on because I was excited to see it like this. So this is fresh off the press. I'm going to see this for the second time in person. Let's see what this guy looks like. Oh my god. Looks like every evil cousin ever created on Earth. That's the evil cousin that dresses with Abercrombie and Fitch and loves his Starbucks coffee. That's just one evil cousin. That could be Harry Osborn, actually. It's in Harry Osborn right there. But no, this is supposed to be Peter freaking Parker. And unfortunately, Flashpoint, aka Thunder Toys, you missed it. This is probably one of the worst head sculpts I've seen in a long time. I mean, that just does not look like Tobey Maguire. I'm sorry. That's just the evil cousin that's just out to get you, trying to get your money, you know, just looking to get you. Just always lurking around corners. But anyways, let's get that mask back on. Because we don't want to look at that face ever again. We want to look at this. Now those evil cousin eyes are still there looking at us. Look at us, just slowly looking at us, looking at what he can take from your wallet. And a quick look at the bottom half. I mean, what you see is what you get so far. There is nothing else that came with this guy other than 2 pairs of hands in a notebook. However, I will note, see what I did there, that the notebook is fantastic quality. It's actually kind of a nice cardboard-ish front, and then there's pages upon pages of stuff in here. So pretty cool. It's not filled all the way to the back. There are some blank pages, but it's pretty cool that they went to that extent, and it's really nicely detailed. Overall, the quality on this notebook is fantastic. Whew. Other than that notebook, what we see is what we get. And again, let's focus on the bottom half. The pants, not too much to go running around a neighborhood bragging, but it fits well. It has that very classic Spidey feel due to the colors. I actually think the sneakers are really nice. They have a nice, detailed, kind of rugged, weathered look to them. There's a kind of a black detail line around the edges of everything. They give them a more of a weathered look. And then, as always, Flashpoint, Thunder Toys, whatever the hell we're going to call you, branding your stand with your company name. I mean, come on. What's going on with you guys over there? I mean, you guys smoking crack over there? Put something on there. Wrestler Spidey, Trilogy Spider-Man, something clever on the front. We don't need the name of your company when this is amongst the greatness of our 1/6 scale collection. So just stop it going forward. You're putting out some pretty good figures, but these stands with branded company names is just god-awful. You clearly have the technology to put Flashpoint on there. Why couldn't you put Spidey or Garter or whatever the hell? Put something on there. Anything but your company name. It just needs to end going forward. Please, dear God. But with that said, it's a decent stand. It's kind of that classic Hot Toy stand that comes with most of them. Crotch grabber style, which we all prefer. And kudos for them even including a stand to begin with. And there we have it. Garter by Flashpoint. Now, as we start to wrap this up and slap a score on this guy, let's go over some final closing notes. For starters, this was more of a quick review because this is a very simple release. Whether that's a good or bad thing, well, that's in your court. Simplicity is a good thing to me sometimes, and I actually do enjoy the shelf presence and look of this toy. It truly does remind me of that iconic scene, some memories of me and my dad, and with a price point of, I think, maybe this is $150, $170, which is kind of a lot for as simple as it is. I'm not going to complain too much. They did include a stand. The tailoring was good. The sneakers were great. A huge miss on not including a different set of gloves because we are really going to lack on the posability options with this figure. The mask looks good, feels good on the face, and dear God, keep it on there because nobody wants that evil cousin to ever come back out. I'm sorry to say, but Flashpoint did a horrible job with the face sculpt on this release. They should have purely focused on the mask version because what they have done is a complete atrocity. And with all that said, I guess as far as a score, I'm going to go with a 7.2 out of 10. This is a simple release, and a 7.2 isn't saying that this is a piece of crap, because I probably will keep it on my shelf, but that really bad head sculpt is supposed to be like 30% of the figure, because as I joked earlier, we want to have it all with the mask on. There's going to be people that wanted to have it with the mask off, and the options you left us is piss poor. Not including a different set of gloves was a huge miss. This is a wrestling iconic scene focused figure, and you really gypped us on some posability options. And overall, it's a simple release. This thing should have been in the 120 mark, but as I mentioned earlier, we have a stand, we have an iconic figure. I still think it's pretty decent. Now with all that said, 7.2 out of 10, I'm not sure I'm going to go ahead and run around town yelling at everybody to run out and buy this figure. If you're a massive Spider-Man fan, then yeah, I think you'll be kind of okay with what you have in hand. However, a first-timer, no, this isn't the figure for you. So with all that said, we're going to go ahead and sign out here today. One badass shirt on that guy. As it spins, I'm thinking I wish I had that shirt. I'm going to go ahead and figure out where that is on the internet and buy that shirt right now. Probably not possible, but kudos to the team over there because that was a badass shirt included. So we're going to wrap it up here today at KC Toys. Catch you next time. Spider-Man from the Sam Rami wrestling scene. Ooh yeah! Macho Man! Yeah!
Huh?